Hey everyone, it's me E and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am making ugly Christmas sweaters for me and my husband to wear to a family Christmas party that is coming up next week. And the reason I am making them is because I did not find anything at the thrift store that suited my fancy, and I feel like commercially sold ugly Christmas sweaters totally miss the mark these days. Here's the thing about ugly Christmas sweaters. They started out as something that somebody would have genuinely purchased unironically, right? Like your grandma or your aunt, who's kind of eccentric, would buy these Christmas sweaters that were ugly because they were tacky. But what they were was festive and earnest. Like, people were buying these because they were imbued with Christmas spirit and not because they were goofy and ironic and, whatever else. And I also feel like the OG ugly Christmas sweaters sort of had a lot of them had a DIY element to them, so people would add extra embellishments to sweaters and sweatshirts that they had bought. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these. If you have, then how's your chiropractor? Because that means that you were born probably in the 80s or 90s. But those sweatshirts, they would have like a snowman on them or whatever, but then like your mom embellished them with glittery puffy paint. Did anyone else's mom have sweatshirts like that? We definitely did. And I feel like those kind of fit the bill. They fit the prompt for ugly Christmas sweater, even though they're not actually a sweater, but a sweatshirt. But you guys know what I'm talking about, right? The sweatshirts that are embellished with puffy paint. Well, anyway, I think because of the fact that like ugly Christmas sweaters as a concept exploded in popularity, they become too commercial. They become too corporate. And now, instead of being about like genuine festiveness and earnestness, ugly Christmas sweaters are about being as vulgar as possible. Like, you guys have seen them, right? The ugly Christmas sweaters where like Santa's bent over and his like thong is hanging out. That's not nice. That's not fun and festive. That's just gross. And like, obviously there's the ugly Christmas sweaters that are like collabs with like Stranger Things and stuff like that. And again, it's just like corporate and commercial, and to me doesn't really represent a genuine Christmas spirit. Then on the flip side, I think a lot of things that are defined as like an ugly Christmas sweater, they're not even really ugly. They're just over the top and festive. Or, like, the other problem I have is that they just are made out of such cheap materials because they're being mass-produced to have people wear to ugly Christmas sweater parties, and they're, like, incredibly itchy and uncomfortable. And, like, you just would never want to wear them again. So what I did for both my husband's and mine is I sewed them on to, like, the embellishments that I was adding to plain sweaters. And if I should so decide, I can just take a pair of scissors or a seam ripper to it and remove the embellishments that I've added so it can go back to being a normal functional sweater. In my husband's case, his was a sweater that he already owned. Mine was one that I had to buy at Walmart because I don't have any plain sweaters that fit me at this point that would be good candidates for adding embellishment. But here's the thing, here's the honest truth, and this is not me trying to brag. My husband's is genuinely just stupid. It was a somewhat funny idea, I guess maybe fun and festive idea that I had. His is a little bit tacky and suggestive, I guess you might say. And at the end I'll show you what it looks like laid out so you can see what I mean. But mine, I think, as much as I tried to make it tacky and kind of ugly, I think it ended up cute. And I don't know if I'm just too incredibly talented that I couldn't make an ugly sweater if I tried, and I did try. I thought, oh, these giant googly eyes will make it ugly, like I'll make his face kind of oblong and long, but look, isn't he cute? And then here's my husband's. You can kind of see what I did with him. I kept it simple. But anyway, let me know what you think about ugly Christmas sweaters, and if you've got one that you love, tell me all about it in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next one. Merry Vlogmas, bye!